Hello, folks. My name is Ernest. Thank you for being here. In this episode, I would like to talk to you about something simple that seems to escape many people: the importance of being relevant. You may not believe this, but many people simply don't get that. They don't understand, for example, the utter stupidity of being completely engaged in the proper arrangement of the deck chairs on the Titanic, completely oblivious that the ship has struck the fatal iceberg. I had the pleasure today of sitting down with a man talking who was an absolute genius in his own mind. And one of the things we discussed was we talked about Elon Musk. And this man told me that, in his opinion, that basically Musk was, the absolute best person in the world. And speaking of world, that he wanted us to eventually get off of this rock known as Earth. And not only were we going to colonize the moon, but we were going to and destined to uh, colonize Mars and beyond. So Musk is an absolute genius and visionary, and anyone that doesn't recognize that is, well, an idiot. Well, I don't exactly agree. Let me tell you one reason why. This is just one reason alone. If there's any of you out there that pretty much hold that same thought or position about Musk, I would have you do this. If you're that serious about it and you want to take that notion of colonizing Mars, for instance, very seriously, I would ask that you take a trip, plan a trip. I mean, this is assuming, of course, you can afford it. Um, yeah, take a trip to the Arctic Circle, to the heart of the Arctic Circle, and live in one of those survival structures they have. And I want you to commit to living there for at least 6 months. 6 months of winter in the Arctic Circle. And I believe that after that experience, if you would stop to consider that that is maybe even 1/100th as bad as living on Mars, since the temperature drops lower than that of the Arctic Circle each and every day. Now, the point that I'm trying to make here is that despite all of our best efforts throughout the centuries, people just simply tend to believe what they want to believe. And it doesn't matter who's doing the talking, or hell, it doesn't even matter, for that matter, what the subject is, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is yet again blithering something about party division and whatnot. That's her shtick. She's generally referred to as a rebel. Some people refer to her as crazy. Um, I think it's probably maybe a good mixture of both. But be that as it may, the bigger point, as far as I'm concerned, is that nothing she says whatsoever in real terms is relevant. It has no inherent real meaning. If you break it down, it doesn't. it has meaning to her, and it has meaning to those who like her or believe along those lines. But I live, or I at least try to live as best I can in the world of objective reality. And bearing that in mind, nothing she says whatsoever matters. And that is what I choose to avoid in my life. Just like anything going on with this whole business now, that's the, we do this, we've done this with presidents of the US for many years now. This isn't anything new. But it's this his popularity rating. Well, then you're going to start talking about his popularity. Today you're up in the polls, and tomorrow you're way down in the polls. And would anyone out there please feel free, if you can, to tell me, what the fuck does this mean? What does it mean? In other words, if there was an actual, real life consequence of these popularity polls, if a president did bad things, and generally the population or citizens were really pissed off and angry, and you could be sent to prison or have a good fucking beating, or I don't know, be beheaded. That's a consequence. But we're talking about an abstraction here. About, wait, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be very high in the popularity polls. You better not do that, Mr. So-and-so. So again, we're talking about things that have no purpose or relevance. Now stop and ask yourself this question, and be honest. Hey, there are certain things that you can do in your own space, in your own privacy. Hell, if you're in your own apartment or house and you choose to walk around naked, that's your prerogative. Whatever it may be. But if you have, the good graces within yourself to, be intellectually honest, have you ever asked yourself, gee, I never thought of that. Why the hell should I give a damn about some personality or prima donna or president or anyone else for that matter about their popularity? No skin off my ass. Doesn't pay my rent or car payment any month. Sure as hell isn't going to get me a raise at work. So why am I watching? Why do I give a shit? And that's my point. Why should anyone give a shit? There's nothing here to give a shit about. And furthermore, ultimately, it doesn't matter really if you give a shit or not. It would take a massive amount of people that didn't give a shit, and I mean for a sustained time, for the powers that be to finally catch on, look at each other and scratch their heads after they do the same old tried and true bullshit, and they're not getting any better ratings, on TV, and they scratch their head and say, I don't think we should continue this. Nobody really seems to give a shit. But that's what it would take, because this is all about ratings and preoccupation with nothing. So as far as all of these types of things are concerned, that's why I'm including just the visual aids in here. It's something to look at. But my point is any of this at any time, if they're not talking to you directly right on the phone as your representative, and they would actually start representing you directly, the rest, nah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for a hill of fucking beans. Doesn't matter. Now, isn't it nice to know that you can have, that you know this, that I told you this, that if you think about it yourself, all the time that you won't waste with all the things like this, that you won't waste in your life, that you can actually be doing things that do matter in your life and is going to, well, improve your life. Until next time, this is Ernest, and this is all I've got for today.